Not even halfway through and he got me good. Yeah, right in the kahoonies. So I thought, you know what? I'll make a memory box. Honestly, wear pants on e-pads. I kept getting wood chipping stuck in my knees. Look, I couldn't even put them on my shoulder because as I was putting them on my shoulder, they were just going all over the spot. Good idea, but he's fuck, sweating my teeth off. For the first 2 minutes, I was like, yeah, I've got these. But now my fucking shoulder is going to drop off. Some people are bound to think, like, you're crazy when you're wearing these glasses. Fuck me, look at that. I'm like a lizard. Hands are so dry. Right, look at that. That's fucking disgusting. There's a lot of it worse when you get into bed and you're trying to fucking move about and all that's catching on the cotton. Oh, fucking, oh, when you just cut your toenails or something. Jesus Christ. You've got to file them shit down. If not, you're fucked. See, you know, I was maybe going to paint it. Got a thing for doing these. Chicken. So, fucking, my glasses died, by the way, so I didn't have a chance to record any POV content. But this is going to look bad, by the way. I've never done one before. So far, so good. Got a couple of side bits. Sorry, front and back bits. They're the side bits already cut. There's a spare one. It was a template. So this one's the front. That one's the back or whatever. Vice versa. Put these on top. Do you know what I mean? And that underneath. I don't know, I think it'll look nice. Or maybe put that one on the bottom and them on top and that on top. I'll just see what looks nice as I'm doing it. That's the plan. Where the hell was I at? So I'm using this one as a template. I've just cut that one. That can go there. Just had a bag of hula hoops before I was starving. I was listening to some music, but YouTube can be a bit funny with music, so I'd just rather be safe than sorry. Luckily, I did have a saw. It was all right. So the best thing about these glasses, they only record for 3 minutes, but I suppose that's long enough. You can see, like in your peripheral, on the right hand side, that they start to flash when they're starting to go off. So like I say, I am making a box, like a memory box, so you can put your dummy and stuff in them. I was saying in Tool Station before. Out there. Yeah, this type of shit. Gotta be. Here we are. Curved and not even cut square. Yeah, my glasses are steaming up, I'm sweating. Be alright, man. It's gonna be wobbly anyways. I need like 15 tri-squares and stuff. I'm gonna go live on TikTok in a minute as well, so I might change the camera angle so I can take these glasses off. So, right. I should really be on like a fucking hard surface for these. Remember, always wear your safety. Safety comes first. I can't even hear that music. Just figuring out which way looks better. One of the bits of wood had sharp edges all around it, whereas the other bit of wood that I've just showed had beveled edges. I thought that looked better, so that's what my design's going to look all the way around. Honestly, at this point I had no hope whatsoever, but as I started doing more of the design and getting further along, that hope started to come back, because the design actually looked pretty well. Little did I know, this box was about to get revenge on me. I asked the internet for a few tips and it advised me to use glue, so that's what I started to do here, just to make the whole structure stronger. But for some reason this stage took me so long to get started. As you can see, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I think I should have made some sort of skeleton, but I just wanted to start because I was so eager. At this point I was going backwards, so I decided to speed the video up, just until I got to a point where I was actually knowing what was going on. This is where I actually started to see progress. There is a front and a back, so one side does look worse than the other, if you haven't noticed. But once I'm finished with it, I think I can make it look pretty good. For some reason, I thought if I laid the saw across the wood just like that it was going to be like a nice right angle, but I don't know if that was right. Quick tip when you're doing this, Make sure you do everything right, just so you're not having to scrape all the glue off, because it's honestly annoying. This is going to go so bad. I literally don't know nothing. I'm just thinking. At this point, I think I've done the base right, so I was looking at what I should do for the bottom, but I think I'm just going to build it up layer by layer on the sides now. The side you're looking at is going to be the back. I didn't bother to mitre them bits either. You'll see further along in the video. I mean, it's going to be against the wall, so you won't see all the tacky bits. Shh! This is a disaster already. You know what? When I was younger, joinery was one thing that I really enjoyed. I mean, I'm not so good at it now. It was actually something that I'd done at college, but I didn't get my end result. I got some sort of qualifications, but the reason why I didn't get the end result is because I ended up working for a roofing company. Was with them for 5 years, and I got my qualifications with that company. Just wait until you see the lid. So as you can see, with a bit of speed, I'm getting somewhere. In just a second you'll see that the box is pretty much going to be the height where it's going to be at. I just need to make a lid, put the hinges on, and then we're laughing. The only thing that's funny is that box. I also need to make the floor. I've realised that there's still a hole in the bottom of the box. So, as we all do, personally, I went for the easy option and started putting the floor in. But I realised one of them was slightly smaller, so I thought, no way, I'd have to cut one of them right down the middle. Honestly, wear pants or knee pads. I kept getting wood, chipping stuck in my knees. Look. At this point, it was 11:30 at night, but because I was so invested wanting to start it, I just done it anyways. That's how big the box is. It's a decent size. Look at the fucking state of these. Look at these. Who needs sandpaper? You've got some rough hands. I actually felt like I was getting somewhere at this point. Well. There we are. Bosh hinges are on. Like I say, I've got no clue. I'm just taking it step by step and going with the flow. Now I just need to make some sort of fucking lid. So I'm sat here thinking, what lid can I make? I have no idea. Trying to think how we should have the lid. Sometimes you just got to sit down and have a think. But then the idea came to my head. I thought this was a good idea, but wait until the end. I thought if I find the hatch, I can maybe come up with some sort of idea to what the lid could look like, which I did, and I'm glad I did that because I would have probably made a mistake if not. Trust me, I made a stupid mistake. So now I'm just doing my thing, trying to have a think and brainstorming the situation. So in a second, this is where the idea struck on how I should have the lid looking all the way around. I'm thinking maybe have like a flat bit like that, and then some going like that. Personally, I thought the lid looked the best out of the whole design. Wait until you see when it's finished. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. At this point, it was around midnight, and I knew that I had to eat something. I didn't feel hungry, but I only had a savoury mince pie all day, so I thought it would have been better if I had a bite to eat. I got a doner wrap with garlic sauce and lettuce, but I didn't make the order, and I don't like garlic sauce. However, I did eat some of the wrap, but I didn't eat all of it because I was just too eager. I mean, it's going on alright. At first I thought it was a nightmare, but it's doing alright, eh? There's actually a current heat wave where I'm at as well, so the heat is just fucking diabolical. I don't know what I'm doing. I felt like you could only cut the wood a certain way, and this is why, because... So I'm at that, do you know what I mean? The reason I had to cut the bit of wood like this is because when the hinge sat on it, it wouldn't have been able to sit right, because at first I was going to mitre it. You see, all of this is trial and error, but I thought if I make some sort of weird thing for underneath the lid, it would stop the lid from going side to side when it was closed and give it a bit more structure. Anybody that's watching this, have you made any projects at home? If so, put them down in the comments. Most people would sit down and think, I couldn't even do this, but honestly, you'd be surprised what you could do if you just sat down and put your mind to it. This bit was actually temporary, but at first I thought that this was going to be the actual design. lock on top when it's on when it closes. I don't even know how I've got any juice left in me. I'm so tired and drained, but at the same time I'm just eager to get this box done. I tried to be too neat sometimes. I just wanted that bit to be flush. At least one side was. Just to remind you, it's very hot, so this makes this job 10 times harder than it already is for me. I put 3 hinges on in total, so I ended up putting another one on. 9 hinges can lay down properly. Oh, that's not perfect. Perfect? No, it was winding me up. Front mitre kept fucking up, but I managed to get it sorted after 2 attempts. Bosh, perfect, right. Well, the box is coming along nicely. Mate, I was so sweaty on that live, it was so bad. So it's a nice shower, time for bed. So this is currently where I'm at with the glasses. I mean the fucking the box. Just need to put that on there. Put some wood filler in here. It's shocking that. The box is looking alright. So far, what's your thoughts? How do you think the box is going to go? Some people will literally say go to Dunelm, but at the end of the day, I'm going to look at that box and think, I made that. I thought if I put another hinge on, it might make it stronger, but this is a nightmare. I hate getting glue on my fingers, so I had to sit there and start picking it off. So I had a slight problem. I didn't want the screw faces being shown on the front face of the box, so I had to brace the front bit of wood somehow, and I only had these 1cm by 1cm bits of wood, which were very dry, and every time I put a screw in them, which were very small screws, they kept snapping, which I'll show you in a second exactly what it looked like. However, the saw that I was using was terrible. Cowboy builder at its finest. Looks fucking botched like, but I am a cowboy. I really didn't like them braces. I did think of a better idea further along in the video, but so far everything fits and it's going well. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm forming that lid. This is the last touch before the lid's complete. Obviously, I had to cut one of the bits of wood really thin, and I don't have the right tools for that, so I was thinking, how the hell am I going to do this? So I ended up using a Stanley knife. There's a lid. So, as I was saying before, I didn't like them 1cm braces, and this is where I thought of the new idea. But by putting this bit of wood here, I can now screw every bit of wood on top of the box to this bit of wood, so it's all attached. Just a few more steps now. I need to put the hinges on properly, put the hatch on, and then see what it looks like. Give it a good sand, and then we're laughing. This was the exciting part. Hey, works, guys. The thing is, I'm saying it worked, but if you look at the next step, it didn't work. I was like, what the hell? What an absolute idiot. Happy days, we're getting some more. Yeah, right in the kahoonies. I might take these off and put another 2 of these on. Something fell off, all because everything wasn't square. I mean, it looked okay, but when I tried closing the lid, when I lined up the latch, it didn't work. So when I sorted the hinges out and tried to line up the latch again, I realised that I just done an absolute idiot mistake. This is the bit I meant. What an absolute idiot I am. Hey, we're booking. Oh. Hey, look at that. Fucking idiot. Fucking absolute idiot, they shouldn't took away. So yeah, this is a prime example why you always double check things, because that was just idiotic. But I was thinking, what can I do here? And I managed to come up with a solution, and this ended up changing the whole design of the box. Wait till you see what I've done. The amount of baby items that is going to be able to go in this box. Close these, I just need to put that side on. Don't know if you can see everything properly from this angle, but I'll show you a better angle in a second when I put my glasses on. But I ended up putting a lip right round the top, just so when I put the latch on, it was facing the other way, horizontally rather than vertically. And after that, everything closed. But then I had an even better idea, and that changed the design again of the box. Wait until you see what happened. But before I do that, I'm going to swap it over to my Meta glasses right now. Fucking loads. But the reason why I've used loads on these is because if you just look where the little crack is there, that's the end of them. So I'm just attaching this and this together to make it more sturdy. And that together just because there's a little bit of movement in that. So I feel like that'll make it a bit better. Maybe try and find some sort of plate. It might disturb that. Put a board there to stop it from fucking opening right open, and if it does open up and someone pushes it, for example, or there's a lot of weight on the lid on the inside like that, it pushes back, then it would just snap the hinge. Obviously it would either snap the bit that this is on, or it would snap this back bit. So I put that there to stop it from falling back. I'll maybe find some ribbons too, just to give it that extra support. I had to make sure that I was hydrating because I was sweating that bad. But this will be one of the last voice notes that I'll send. In just a second, I'm going to show you a bird's eye view, side view and everything of the chest. Not just that, a few photos. So there you have it. There's a couple of mistakes. The top lid is a little bit out of square, and I actually cut that wrong, but I managed to glue a little bit back on, because what I'm going to do is fill it in with wood filler, and give it a good sand down. And if you looked on the live before, I ended up putting that latch on this base, and I tried locking it and it just wouldn't lock. But now what I've done is I've added these 3 bits of wood, mighty the front bits, so now it opens, closes, knee bother. I've actually swapped these braces round, so now everything's fucking solid. Happy days. There's the back. Oh, there we are. That's proof it's all fucking solid. Look at that. I can put all sorts in this. Baby scans, baby first outfit, baby's first dummy, baby's first everything. Do you know what, for a first time round, this is pretty impressive. Don't get me wrong, there's room for improvements, but what do you think? Because I'm impressed.